Hey, so you may notice that this is from my opponent's point of view. And the reason for that is that, unfortunately, we played at a time when I wasn't able to record, and, yeah. So, I'll be honest, I played this game a while ago, so I'm going to kind of learn what I did with you guys. I remember that my general game plan was to try to weaken things so that Greninja can potentially win the game, as his only Greninja check was Azumarill, which isn't exactly a great check to it due to the poison weakness. So what happens is immediately, I lead Suicune against his Azumarill. I am in a fantastic position off the bat, as this is exactly what I want. I want a chip on this Azumarill. I go for the Scald, trying to fish for a burn. I don't get the burn, a little unfortunate. He gets a knockoff. CSM choice specs, and yeah, I believe he switches out here is because he has to respect the potential chip that he's getting on the Azumarill, as this is his only Greninja check. And I think he decides to go Yuxi. I just pressed Scald again, is because I'll be honest, the only thing I wanted out of this Suicune was to chip the Azumarill so that my Greninja can win the game endgame, as he has like no priority. So he goes out into the Yuxi. I get Scald off. Do a decent amount. I mean, even without the choice specs, Suicune hits fairly hard when it's invested. I do get the burn, which is a little unfortunate, but yeah. So I switch out. I go out into my Clefable. I think I was like some offensive Clefable this week. If I wanted to use it to apply pressure to his team. He just goes for rocks, which, you know, that's fair enough. And he takes that burn. Now here, I'll be honest, I think I pressed Stealth Rock this turn. I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I pressed the Stealth Rock this turn just because I wanted to, you know, trade rocks. And I made a misclick. I accidentally terra'd my Clefable when Clefable is not my Terra Captain. So this was an illegal move on my end. So due to that, we essentially just replayed the game up to that point. That was just a stupid misclick on my end. So he goes out into the Thundurus. I get my rocks up, which will be very valuable for slowly tripping down the Azumarill to open up the Greninja endgame, which I'm playing incredibly hard for. And, oh wow, I'm actually kind of learning his sets too. He is a Nasty Plot Thundurus into Clefable. It worked out for him. I believe I was Magic Guard this week. So, unfortunately, these Nasty Plots are going to end up mattering, as I'm not unaware. I also found it kind of crazy that he Nasty Plotted in the face of a Clefable. I could have easily been unaware, and that would have kind of been a useless play. I probably should bring unaware Clefable more so that people respect it, but I really liked the Life Orb Magic Card set here, due to the fact I just wanted to chunk things for my Greninja endgame. And Life Orb Clefable is very good at chunking things down. So he goes for the Terra Blast. I don't believe that's able to kill. I live on a Sliver. I get the Moonblast off. Take out the Thundurus, so that is one very big threat out of the way. And he also has to make his play here, so I get the initiative. He goes out into the Sneasler, and I have two choices here. I can sack off the Clefable, or I can preserve it and go out into my Galarian Slowking. I think I eventually decide to keep the Clefable around as sack fodder, figuring, okay, I could just go Glowking and kind of get a slow Chili. You're probably going to U-turn, but even if you U-turn, I'll be able to regenerate all that HP back. He does go for the U-turn, does a steady amount of chip, actually does a little more than my regenerator will recover. So he switches, and I think Gholdengo is his best play, and he does click Gholdengo. But little does he know, I am in a Solfest like Max Spadef Electros, specifically to be able to deal with this Gholdengo, as I knew that Ghost types are kind of an issue for my team. Gholdengo's a fantastic Ghost type, so it was probably coming. So I just got into my Eel, and you're going to see this Shadow Ball is going to do absolutely nothing to me. Like, just very, very small chip. Now here I have two choices. I can stay in and knock, it's because, you know, knock will do a decent chunk into basically anything on his team, or I can U-turn to try to get initiative. Potentially try to get a Greninja in to force the Azumarill to force it to take steady chip. So if he goes out into Yuxi, I believe that I U-turn. I do U-turn. And I'm pretty sure I go Greninja here. Oh wait, no, maybe I don't go Greninja here. I probably should go Greninja. No, I go Hawlucha. Yes, I wanted the U-turn. Fair enough, past me. Gren would have been a fair play too, but I guess not wanting to gamble burning my Battle Bond too early is fair. So he goes U-turn, probably expecting my Defog or Encore on my end. Sorry, he goes for Encore, probably predicting an SD or something, or a Defog. He goes for Psychic Noise. It does absolutely nothing to my Slowking, and I can Chili up back to full and create a little bit of a initiative going with both my U-turn, Hawlucha, and Galarian Slowking. He's eventually going to have to take a sack, it's just a matter of what. So you go out into Hawlucha, and I think I just U-turn here. I mean, it's very safe. No reason really not to click it in this situation, especially since he has a Gholdengo in the back, which the main way he can win this game is if he can create an opportunity where he uses a Gholdengo to get enough turns to weaken my Eel. So Gholdengo wins in the end game. So I don't want to allow that to happen. So I go Gren here. The reason for Gren out on this turn is that it forces the Azumarill in, and I only need to chip this until it's around 30%-ish, until my Greninja just instantly wins the game. You're going to see the funny name on Greninja. That's because I accidentally did not generate it as an English version. So that basically told my opponent immediately that I was Battle Bond, which is a little unfortunate. So I just sack Clefable here, thinking, okay, I don't really need Clefable for anything. I don't have anything that's going to appreciate this play rough. So Clefable goes down, and here, I believe I go out into Suicune. And you might be wondering, why am I going out into Suicune on this water type, which I know is probably going to be assault vested in the Greninja matchup. And the reason for that is Suicune's main role in this game is just to weaken the Azumarill to get to the point where my Greninja wins. So I'm just going to spam Scald until I get the burn, and then I'm going to spam Terra Blast. And once this Azumarill is at 30%, the game is immediately over. My Greninja automatically wins this game, and there's absolutely nothing he can do about it. So I Terra Blast, and after the burn, this will put the Azumarill in the 30% range, which I need it to be. So at this point, the game's over. And unfortunately, there's a DC, but it doesn't really matter. It's because the game's over at this point. My Greninja just wins. He has absolutely no way to stop a Battle Bond Greninja. It needs very little to happen to just get a kill. The Azumarill's in Sludge Wave range. Gholdengo's in Dark Pulse range. Garchomp gonna get obliterated by my Ice Beam, and Sneasler is going to go down to my Surf. So I go out into the Slowking here, and you'll see in the chat, I just say, okay, close enough, is because we recreated the game to that point, and I said I'm fine if Suicune takes more chip. And the reason why I'm saying that is I know the game's already over. Greninja wins. There's nothing he could do. So I'm just like, okay, it's fine if Suicune takes the chip. I got the chip that I need on the Azumarill, so my Greninja automatically wins this game. So I Chili out into the Eel on the Gholdengo coming in, and this is kind of an awkward spot for him. It's because he doesn't have a great Eel switch in. And if he lets the Gholdengo lose its Scarf, he really has no way to beat Greninja. I mean, I already think this game is kind of over, but yeah. So he's thinking about this for a while, debating, okay, do I risk this getting knocked? Do I go out into the Garchomp on the probable knock? And I believe he ultimately decides to go out into Garchomp. And I think I just U-turn, trying to create a situation where I can get a free Greninja turn. So I U-turn, take the chip. So we're both in kind of a dangerous spot, actually. It's because my Eel isn't chipped enough where the Gholdengo can potentially win the game if I am a little reckless against it. So he goes Gholdengo here, and I'm like, okay, the way he's playing it, this has to be a Scarf Gholdengo. Like, you don't go Gholdengo out on Greninja unless you're choice Scarfed. So I switch here. He's probably debating what to go for, debating calling out my switch because my switch is kind of obvious. He goes for the Focus Blast because he's in a situation where he's very, very much on the back foot. He has to kind of hope that I don't expect Scarf Gholdengo or I don't scout for it, but I haven't seen him switch his moves yet, so I thought, okay, there's probably a chance that this could be a Scarf Gholdengo, and I scout for it. And I believe I got into my Galarian Slowking to scout for it. So you're just going to see, you know, time ticking. I think I was like back and forth of, okay, do I call out the potential Scarf? And I do call out the potential Scarf. I go on into Slowking, and yeah, this game is very, very much over. He goes out into the Azumarill, takes a rock chip. I go for the chilly reception, but after the rocks and the burn, I don't even have to click Subwave. I can just surf, and that's game. Just because look at his team. His entire team is going to go down to my Greninja. He has Goldango, weak to Dark. Garchomp, weak to Ice. Sneasler. It's Sneasler. It's not exactly the bulkiest Pokemon. And he's going to go out to Sneasler, hoping it can take a plus whatever for my Greninja, but unfortunately for him, Light Orb Greninja will be able to take this game. He's just thinking about it for a while. He's going to click his move, and yeah. So this game's over. This pretty much clinches us the playoffs. So I'll be honest, I'm just going to kind of goof off the rest of the season. I'm probably going to try to feed Trico a few kills and see how that works out. And yeah. So we're clinched playoffs. We can do whatever we want. And see you guys in our next week.